Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamaya Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmadevaram. Chant the invocation prayer. It's up there so you can see. Antaryascha bahirvidhutativiram Jyotirmayam shashvatam Sthanam prapya virajate vinamatam Ajnanamunmulayan Pashyan Vishwamapidamullasadiyo Vishvasya Pariparaha Tasmai Shri Ramanaya Lokagurave Shokasya Hantre Namaha. Okay, we're going to read from verse number 17. So make sure you have a book and you're with somebody or you're sitting near someone who has a book so you can chant also. I'll chant and then you please repeat after me. Manasam tu kim margane krite Naiva manasam marga arjavat Vrittayastvaham vrittimashritah Vrittayo mano vidyaham manaha Ahamayam kuto bhavati chinvataha Aibatatyaham nija vicharanam Okay. So now this is where we're coming into Jnana Yoga. So far, what we have seen is Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga. And we went over these verses last week, but I'm just going to recap before moving ahead. What is the path of Jnana Yoga? The yoga of knowledge. The path of knowledge deals with self-inquiry, Nija Vicharanam. In all the other paths, the other three paths, what's happening? First, I accept that there is a mind. I accept that I have a mind, and then I feel that I have to purify my mind. So I purify it through action, selfless, dedicated action. Or I purify it through devotion to God. Or I purify it through concentration and meditation. And once I purify it, then I transcend the mind and I realize the self. So all the three other paths are taking into account that I have a mind and I need to work with my mind. But what is Jnana Yoga saying? Manasam tu kim? Is there a mind? Why don't you just ask, is there a mind? And the example we gave was the snake that is imagined on the rope. Other paths will figure out what to do with the snake. Jnana Yoga will say, turn on the light. There's no snake. So in this way, if we inquire into the mind, we find out that there is no such thing as mind. Naiva manasam. Marga arjavad. This is the direct path. Then in verse 18, he says, okay, if we have to define what is the mind, how do we define it? He says the mind is I thought, or the mind is ego. So what do we mean? In the mind, there are two thoughts that are arising. One thought is called the object thought, like the microphone, the book, the chair. These are objects. And the other thought is called the I thought. So I am seeing the microphone, I am seeing the book, I am seeing the chair. The object thought keeps changing. But the I thought remains relatively the same. Well, you can see object, object, object. It changes. The I thought remains relatively the same. The actions can change also. I am speaking into the mic. I am reading the book. I am thinking in my mind. The actions can change. And the actions have to do with the objects. So the actions changing, but the I who's doing the actions, that remains the same. You might say there's a thought without I in it. Like there's a big building there. Where is the I there? The I is, I am experiencing the building there. That's how I'm saying there's a building there. So in whatever way we see it, all our thoughts can be divided into two. Idam vritti, or the object thought, and aham vritti, I thought. Okay? Now he further goes on to say that the object thought is dependent on the I thought. Because only when I am, then I have any experience of any object. So when I'm sleeping and I wake up and I say, oh, I am awake. I thought is there, object thought. Let me do this now. Let me think of what I have to do today. Let me check the time. Only when the I thought arises, then all the object thoughts come into play. And when the I thought dissolves, all the object thoughts dissolve. So everything is dependent on this thought called I thought or aham vritti. Clear? Clear so far? So what is the mind? The mind is the I thought. I thought sometimes called the ego. So what do we have to do? The mind is the I thought is the ego. What do we have to do? He says in verse number 19, aham ayam kutaha. Where is this I thought arising from? Where is the I thought arising from? Bhavati chinvataha. Means think about it. And when we keep thinking about where is the I thought arising, where is it arising from, aipatatyaham, that I thought actually falls. And this is called self-inquiry. Nija vicharana. So what is self-inquiry? Self-inquiry is understanding the source of the I thought. Where does the I thought come from? Last week I gave you that story of Money Mama. I hope you remember that story, right? That story where that we could not figure out where the ego is placed. Huh? See here, this is the subject, right? Let's say I am the subject and the book is the object. You get this so far? Subject, object. Now, I am aware of this book. Yeah? I am experiencing this book. I am seeing this book. I'm seeing that it's yellow, it's rectangular. I'm holding it. I'm experiencing it. So because I'm experiencing this book, it's an object of my experience, and this object is different from me, right? So I am the subject and this is the object, and I'm experiencing the object, and that's how I can tell you that it's a rectangular yellow book. It's in my hand, it's got words, it's called Upadesha Sara. Subject, object, correct? So now what is happening? What if I say I am the book? What if I mix the subject with the object? How does that sound to you? Little odd, right? I'm mixing the subject and the object. I'm the book. It's weird. I cannot be the book because I'm the subject and the book is an object of my experience. So how can I be the object? How can the subject be the object? Now you take the body, something deeper. Everybody experiences their body. Everybody's aware that they have a body. We know the shape, size, color of the body. We know what the body is going through. If it's healthy, it's fit, or if it's tired. We're aware. So we're experiencing the body. We're aware of what's happening in the body. We're able to observe the body. So the body is an object to us. And we are the subject. So this is the body. I am experiencing the body. Now what am I doing? I am tying the I am with the body, and I'm saying I am the body. I am taking the subject, I, taking the object, the body, and tying a knot and saying I am the body. This knot is called the ego. It is like saying I am the book. Right? When you take the subject, you take the object and you tie it together, that's called the ego. I, the subject, the body is the object, I'm tying it together and I feel I am this body, that's called the ego. So what is the ego? It's a false notion. It's not a reality, it's a notion. I am the body. In fact, I never have that experience, I am the body, because I'm always experiencing the body. I never had that experience, I am the body, because I'm always experiencing the body. Think about that for the moment. Now you take the mind. Everybody's experiencing their mind, aware of the mind, aware of the thoughts of the mind, the state of the mind. So, mind is an object of our experience. Everybody knows their thoughts. Everybody is aware of their thoughts, right? And who am I? I'm the subject. I am the one who's aware of my thoughts. So I am the subject. The mind is an object of my experience. I'm aware of it. So if I am aware of something, I experience something, how can I be that thing? What is the ego? The ego is taking the I am, taking the mind, tying it together and saying, I am the mind. I am the mind. I cannot be that mind. I am experiencing it. The intellect. The mind is the seat of emotions. The intellect is the seat of ideas, of ideals, of identities. The intellect is having so many different kinds of thoughts. Like, I am smart, I am amazing, or I am dull, I am dumb. I have these great ideas, or I have no ideas. Intellect is having so many thoughts. And the subject is aware of all the thoughts of the intellect. Aware. The subject is aware of the condition of the intellect. Is the intellect sharp? Is it dull? Is it subtle? Is it gross? So I, the subject, am aware of all the experiences of the intellect. Therefore, the intellect is an object of my experience. It's an object of my experience. But when I, the subject, take the object and tie it together, I am the intellect. This is called ego. It's called ego. So you understand what is ego now? Hmm? Ego in Vedanta is not pride or arrogance. Ego in Vedanta is this notion that I am the body, I am the mind, I am the intellect. It's a false, illusory notion of identification with the limited due to ignorance. That's what we call ego. This is clear so far? What the ego is? Huh? So Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi Ji says, okay, find the source of the ego. See if the ego is real or not. Because all of our problems are based on the ego. So when we tap into the source, find if we have an ego, go within. The ego actually dissolves. We don't find anything there. In verse number 19, one word that is really key here is called Chinvataha. Chinvataha means the one who is able to inquire. Because where is all our attention now? Outside. We're inquiring into the world outside. We're inquiring into things outside. So when I keep doing this, there's no way I can truly understand who I am. But the minute that we become introverted, and this is the purpose of all spiritual practices, it's introversion. The minute we become introverted, then we actually are able to tap into who we are. What makes the ego thrive is ignorance. When we ignore who we are, the ego thrives. When we do not inquire into who we are, the ego thrives. And when we strengthen our identification with the body, the mind, the intellect, the ego thrives even more. So if we want the ego to thrive, don't inquire. Sit at home and pretend like everything's okay. But if we want to know who we are, if we want the ego to dissolve, inquire into it. Some people, I say, I'm scared. Because if I keep inquiring into this ego, like you say, I will lose myself. What will happen to me? What will happen to all my responsibilities? What will happen to everything I have to do? What will happen to my family? So here now, in verse number 20, Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi Ji says very beautifully what happens. Okay? Ahamina shabhajahamaham taya taya spurati hrit swayam paramapurna sat. Together. Ahamina shabhajahamaham taya spurati hrit swayam paramapurna sat. So what he's saying here is ahami nasha bhaji. When the ego is destroyed, what happens? Aham taya. I, spurati. The real I shines forth. Swayam hrit, of its own, which is in its own heart, it shines forth. And how is it? Parama, supreme. Purna, infinite. Sat, existence. When the ego is destroyed, the self, which is the supreme, infinite existence, shines forth of its own as I. So first let's understand what is the destruction of the ego. What is the destruction of the ego? Destruction of the ego doesn't mean that the body will get destroyed, that the mind will get destroyed, that the intellect will get destroyed. No, destruction of the ego doesn't mean that. Destruction of the ego means the notion I am the body gets destroyed. The notion I am the mind gets destroyed. The notion I am the intellect gets destroyed. These notions are the destruction of the ego. And some people are afraid for this ego to get destroyed. There's a poem by Khalil Gibran where he says, the river is going towards the ocean, but the river is so scared. If I go to the ocean, I might lose myself. But it's not about the river losing itself in the ocean. It's about the river becoming one with the ocean. So the destruction of the ego or individuality is realizing that I am infinity. How beautiful. The destruction of individuality is realizing I am infinity. So what do I have to lose? What does this mean in a day-to-day life? You see here, our great Mahatmas, they have a body, they have a mind, they have an intellect, but their ego is completely dissolved, which means that they have no agenda of their own. They have no personal will, no personal agenda, no motive, nothing like that. So what shines forth through them is pure love. In a great Mahatma, because there's no individuality, no agenda, no motive, there's no stress, there's no pressure, there's no tension to appear a certain way, to be a certain thing for everybody, to make sure that everybody likes them. There's no such pressure, tension, nothing like that. And because there's none of that, what shines through them is pure love. All their thoughts are divine. All their actions are divine. All their words are divine. And the most beautiful thing is it's effortlessly divine. It's just coming through them. We have so much ego, we put so much effort into everything we want to do because we feel we need to accomplish. I need to be this way. I need to do this. I need to reach this. And our lives are filled with so much strain then. But the minute we let that ego go, our vessel, body, mind, intellect, is free for the divinity to flow. And everything becomes 100% better. Raising a family becomes so much more beautiful. Going to work, much more meaningful. Living in the city, much more relaxing. It's true. There are people who, you would find it hard to believe, in New York City, who is relaxed. Everybody walks fast. Everybody's rushing, everybody's pushing everybody has an agenda to go everywhere. It's hard to find one relaxed person in the city. We might think that way. But who knows? It's highly possible that if we free ourselves from this ego, then there's absolute relaxation. This is the path that spirituality is teaching us. Spirituality is not saying, okay, go somewhere else, go leave everything, make sure you're only in a sattvic place, make sure you're only around sattvic people. The highest point of spirituality is saying, be exactly where you are. Because wherever you are is the most perfect place for you to evolve. Whoever you're with are your greatest teachers. Spirituality is saying, free yourself from that ego and let love just shine through your entire being. This way, it's not about losing your identity, but it's about recognizing that you are infinity. You are infinity. Why we going out to people to feel appreciated, acknowledged, respected? The Upanishads are telling you, you are infinity. That's the best thing ever. Huh? That's the greatest compliment ever. When you feel like you need a compliment, you open the Upanishads. It will tell you, Tat Tvam Asi, you are infinity. Huh? We don't need to go anywhere else. And how is this self? Parama, Purna, Sat. Parama means supreme, untouched by all of this body, mind, intellect drama. The body will do what it has to do. It will go through what it has to go through, but that has nothing to do with you. You're free of it. The mind will go through its thoughts. It's true, it will go through its thoughts, but you are free of it. The intellect will go through its ideals, its identities, but you are free of it. And as I said, when we free ourselves of it, and we let divinity flow through the body, mind, and intellect, they make such beautiful music. But when we act with our ego, it only makes noise, absolute noise. So Parama means you are untouched by the body, mind, intellect. Purna means we realize that we are complete as we are. We're already complete. What do we need to complete us? We're already complete. And Sat. Sat means we are pure existence. That existence that can never die, can never fade, can never get lost. We are that continuous existence. Aham Taya. Continuous I. That's your nature. That is who you are. In one of the texts, in Advaita Makaranda, it says, the ego is like mist. It's like mist. Because on a misty day, you see mist. You experience mist. Try to hold it in your hand. There's nothing there. So even if we experience this notion called the ego, try to dive into it. What will we find? There's nothing there. There's nothing there. The only thing remains is I, our true being.